Good afternoon. Let's make this quick so we can get out there and enjoy the sun a little bit. Maybe go get a Sonoran dog or two. All right.
The best start to finish game this year for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I genuinely think that, Wisconsin was, the best team we've played up until this point, just the way they're built and how they play. And, they're going to have a great season. And, every once in a while you go on the road and things unravel a little bit. And, our guys were pretty locked in and focused and made it really tough for them, and we made a nice run at the end of the first half and kind of got them on their heels a little bit. And then we're kind of able to play pretty steady in the second half and then maybe make it a little run there at the end. But all in all, I'm really happy with our performance.
How much is the Mateo crowd when it's like this?
It's awesome. It's awesome, and it's so much fun, and it's so great for our team and so great for the community and the university. That's the standard we want. And it's not being greedy. It's just when you have an opportunity to make something special, no matter if you're a fan, a player, a corporate sponsor, whatever it is, make it special, and that's all I want.
You hear guys like Bella and Umar talk about they're part of the Arizona family, they're part of the Wildcats family, so they feel kind of the ghosts of the past from this matchup. They took that personal today. What does that say to you?
Well, we spent a lot of time talking about our Arizona basketball legacy, and in this group right now, we're in the sun. The sun's shining on us now. The sun is set on some of the guys in the past, and it hasn't risen on our future yet. So we take it really serious, and it was really cool after the game. Obviously Steve just caught a good break and had a few days off, and they're in Phoenix, and he brought his whole staff down here. And after the game, we didn't have Steve talk to the team. He's talked to him enough. We had Bruce Frazier, Steve's right-hand guy and former teammate here, talk to the team, and that's really cool because, anyone who's worn our uniform, is a significant part of what we do, and we want to honor it. Not just the superstars and the big names, but the Bruce Fraziers, the Matt Muehlbachs. Those guys were good players, and it's an honor to have them in our locker room. And our guys, when they talk, our guys listen.
Happy to see Bella be able to have a big scoring output after all the games where he's just kind of filling the stat sheet.
Pella's one of these guys. He's going to give you what it takes to win, and he's a really good player who's coming into his own. I know how talented he is. And I think he's one of the better, wings in the country, and without dispute. And I think people are going to start to see that now, over the course of this season.
Last year, I seem to recall part of the reason he went back to the bench is he was sometimes picking up 2 quick fouls and was affecting him. Is it different is he a different guy today?
Yeah, he's handling it better. He's made some adjustments. He had some foul issues in the Michigan State game, and we talked about it. He's too important to our team. Pella was a proficient charge taker, and the way they're calling the block charge now on secondary defenders, there's just not going to be as many opportunities. So, he picked up 2 charges as a secondary defender against Michigan State. Well, Pella's got to adjust to the rules. And so Pella's really smart, and he's made those adjustments. But he's an aggressive player. He's going to foul some. He's tough. He's physical, and it's part of the deal. But I feel really good, being able to absorb a little bit of foul trouble with this team and, play other guys. And I trust Pella. I played him in the first half with 2 fouls, and he was a huge part of our run towards the end of that first half.
Coach, what's the biggest difference between last year's team and this year's team?
I don't know. You guys can draw your own opinions on that. I just love this group. I love the force we play with. I love the depth we have. Obviously, I love the physicality, and it's been one of the best groups I've ever been around at executing a game plan. And that's been really cool. That's really cool as a coach because you and your staff spend so much time scheming and how you want to do certain things. When you have players that lock in and take it serious and go out and make it happen, that makes us look good. And it's all about them. But anytime we can put them in a good position, we're happy to do that.
The rebounding advantage, particularly taking that edge away from them. But how much of that is just effort in a game like this?
Well, a lot of it's effort and toughness and grit and want to. And, we want to be a great rebounding team. And it's something I never take for granted. I never assume we're going to pound someone on the glass. You got to go make that happen. Because I know that other coach is, addressing his team, and they're going to come out and they're going to go to war on the glass because they know that we do as well. So it's nothing I never take for granted. And today it felt like, we got them to miss some shots. I don't have my glasses, so I can't read any of these stats right now, but it felt like they missed a lot of shots, and it felt like we got quite a few of the rebounds.
We all know about your offense, obviously, but your defense continues to improve and get better. Today was one of those days where they just went at it.
Well, I mean, our defense was great 2 years ago. Maybe better or as good as our offense. Last year, our defense was good, not great. I think we're back in the great category now. But again, like rebounding, it's nothing I have. You don't just show up and assume you're going to play a great defensive game. You got to go make it happen, and our guys are doing a good job of that now.
How much of an impact is KJ and Jaden making off the bench?
I mean, they're awesome. Hey, and Jaden is a tough kid. He's, battling a turf toe deal right now, and I could see him out there today not moving quite as good. Maybe that's why, I'm trying to maybe limit some of his run a little bit till we get him back to 100. He tells me he's 100. He doesn't look like he's moving like 100, but he does help. I told him, hey, you need to go take the baton from Kylan, and you need to go do a great job on number 23 defensively. And I thought he did a good job. And listen, KJ has played good. Every practice, every game, he's had an Arizona uniform, and he just keeps trending up and up and up.
Your offense is one of the best passing offenses in the country. We bring in.
Oh, wow. Shot the lights out.
When you bring in new guys, is there like a conversation you have, like, this is how we play offense?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of conversations you have, and one is we have a way we play. We have a way we develop players that we think is beneficial for our team and beneficial for the player. And so, we just harken back to that, and we're constantly talking about we need to be a team that enjoys your teammates' successes as much or more than your own. And so we want to be a team that shares the ball. And I told our guys today, I don't need any heroes. I don't need anybody to stand out above anybody else. But at the end of the day, I want people to say that Arizona basketball team kicks some ass, the team. And that's what we're fighting for.
How is your college buddy doing?
Okay, probably not the time to talk about that stuff. We'll stay locked in on this game today. But, he's obviously going through a lot.
When you were asked about having the burden of the number 1 ranking, you said it wasn't much more complicated than playing really hard, playing with great passion, and playing together. How did the opponent and the crowd kind of help you to do those things?
Well, I mean, obviously you bring an opponent of Wisconsin's stature in for a non-conference game, your crowd's going to be excited. I think your crowd wishes you could play games like this every day, and maybe going to the Big 12 next year, we'll play a lot of them. But scheduling's a little tricky. So you got to do the best job you can for your program to get it well positioned to get an at-large bid for the NCAA tournament. So the crowd obviously made a significant impact today. I feel like we're right where we need to be, but at the same point, the moment I leave this deal, my mind's going to start thinking about next week or things we got to get better at within our program. How are we going to scout ourselves? So what do we got to get better at? And then what do we got coming down the pipe? And that's what makes this job cool is you don't get too much time to rest on your laurels. You're on to the next one.
2 more questions.
From my vantage point, it looked like big part of the game plan was to dictate pace. And with the ferociousness of the on-ball defense, how are you guys able to dictate pace, make Wisconsin a little frantic?
I mean, I don't ever think about dictating pace. I just think I think our guys want to get out and run, and we play a system that gets out and run. And I knew, I was like, okay, if we can go to battle with these guys on the glass, and they're sending out guys to the offensive glass, they got a decision to make with their transition defense, and we're comfortable. We're comfortable, very comfortable going 6, 8, 10 possessions in a row up and down. We have no problem with that. So, we're used to it. So I want to see if other teams are used to it and how they respond. And fortunate enough, we got in some of those stretches today where there were 6, 8 possessions where the game flowed pretty fast.
Last question.
I know you've spoken highly of Caleb Love and Tommy Lloyd, but is there anybody that's surprised at his passing and his rebounding beyond his scoring?
Caleb's a really good player. And I asked Caleb to come here and fit into this team and be a great all-around player. Because I know Caleb's going to play at the next level. But I think Caleb can play at the next level as a guy that can do multiple things. It gives you great effort defensively. He's a really smart player. I mean, with scouting reports and stuff, he's really smart and he's savvy with all that stuff. And then, now I said, ask him, hey, I think you could give more effort on the glass. He has, and I'm on him about it because we got to build that habit. Offensively, I said, hey, I'm not worried about shot attempts. I'm worried about just stacking up good, simple decisions over and over and over and over again. And he's bought into it. And now that being said, he also has a nose and a knack for scoring the ball. So I don't want to stifle that either. So you put it all together, you got one heck of a player.
Thanks,